So let's take a check on those two sides for you then. Sir Alex Ferguson shows faith in the youngsters, beaten by Besiktas in the Champions League here last week. Gibson, Overton and Welbeck stay in. Delate gets his first start this season. Giggs among the subs there. But interestingly, Berbatov is given a chance against his old side to regain fitness after missing 4 games with a knee injury. And Kuszczak keeps his place in goal after a fine performance at Portsmouth on Saturday. Tottenham give a chance again in this competition to Hutton, Bale and Bentley. Palacios replaces Huddleston, but Robbie Keane is recalled up front in an otherwise strong-looking lineup after rumours that it would be a second-string side. The front two have pace and guile to cause United problems. Sir Alex Ferguson will be sitting up in the stands. It's the second game of his 2-match suspension. Harry Redknapp, an old friend of the Manchester United manager, has given David Bentley another chance here, and Manchester United fans will need no reminder that he scored a hat-trick for Blackburn Rovers against United back in February 2006. He's played in Spurs' Carling Cup run thus far, scoring against Doncaster Rovers. Spurs very much a form side. Harry Redknapp was tempted perhaps to bring in more youngsters, more fringe players. Some people thought that would signify a change in his focus, a focus that would move towards a top 3, top 4 place in the Premier League this season at the expense of the Cups. But Spurs are chasing a 3rd final appearance in successive years in this competition. Gary Neville's first trophy lift as Manchester United captain was in this competition back in 2006, and he moves together with the Spurs captain Robbie Keane, restored to the starting lineup to flip the coin in front of the referee Mark Clattenburg. Manchester United, though they haven't put this competition at the top of their shopping list in recent seasons, still retain a strong tradition with it, and also fine form over recent seasons. They're playing in their 15th League Cup quarter-final. They've won 11 of those. The Tottenham players in a huddle. They've had such a wretched run on this ground. Terry Venables was the manager who inspired their last victory when Gary Lineker scored the winning goal. Terry amongst the crowd here on this very wet Old Trafford occasion. And it's going to be Dimitar Berbatov and Danny Welbeck who get things off and underway for Manchester United in the red and white, kicking from left to right in the first half, away from the Stretford end. Berbatov has been missing for 4 games, though he was on the bench at Portsmouth at the weekend. Gibson out wide, looking for Overton, the young French winger, signed in the summer. And it's an early throw to Manchester United to be taken by their captain. And towards Gibson, part of the Irish side that lost out to France so controversially for a place in the World Cup finals. Wes Brown and Nemanja Vidic, an experienced centre-back duo. And the ball just skipped away there from young Delate. It's his 4th appearance for Manchester United. He came on as a sub in previous rounds in this season. They beat Wolves here and Barnsley away, despite having Gary Neville sent off. And Palacios caught in possession by Anderson, who's still going on and drives wide. Palacios preferred quite late on by Harry Redknapp in his deliberations to Tom Huddleston, and he was caught in possession. And Anderson quick to drive on, but the shot lacked direction. His only United goal came at Tottenham last season. Sir Alex Ferguson in his watching brief up in the stands. Gibson looking for Overton. In towards Welbeck, but Dawson read that, saw it coming. This is Aaron Lennon, who started on the Spurs left with Bentley on the right. Bentley's come in from that position to give room now for Alan Hutton. And here's Bentley. Not a bad cross in. Bentley trying to resurrect a Tottenham career that hasn't really got going. Robbie Keane scored for Tottenham here in January 2008. And Spurs at the moment brim full of goals. Bassong to Gareth Bale. Spurs are using this competition to bring players like Bale into the first team again, but he has to chase Obertan now, and that's forward to Welbeck. Berbatov in the supporting role, back to Welbeck again, a scorer here against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the third round. And Berbatov chasing back, keen to prove his fitness. Now Vidic will be interested in hearing Serbia's draw on Friday in Cape Town, the World Cup finals draw. And Serbia capable of causing a few problems next summer. Anderson, the Brazilian, waving Gary Neville forward at an interplay. A runner-up in this in 2003 and a winner 3 years ago, Gary Neville. This is Gibson. And Easton Park to take on Hutton. Berbatov again floating dangerously, and Gibson with a poked effort wide. But Manchester United using Berbatov as the front pivot, playing into him. He holds it up, waits for a runner, sees the runner, lays it off. It's a wretched finish, really. But nice approach work by Manchester United, nonetheless. And Gibson on the fringes of the first team this season. It's his 5th appearance. And he was part of the side that triumphed over Spurs at Wembley last season on spot kicks. Bentley, who was off target in that penalty shootout in the final in March. And it's a threat of Manchester United. Hasn't had any sort of run this season for Spurs. Anderson, an angled pass out wide to Obertan. A neat enough take by him, and he's looked for the return. Bale has read it. Now here's Brown. Bassong gets it away. Obertan's head, Gary Neville onto it, and that's sufficient of a handball. Gary Neville playing for the 581st time in a Manchester United shirt. Jermaine Defoe very much the target here for Spurs, and the man very much in form. 12 goals in his 13 games for his club this season, add another 3 for England. And he's sparkling, but he wasn't watching as the free kick came forward, and this is Wes Brown. Obertan, chased by Bale, forward to Keane, and this is Lennon. Pulls it into the middle, and Bentley was there, and good job for Manchester United. Vidic was there too. Bale on the run, and it's the first corner kick of the game, and he goes the way of Spurs, and Vidic had to stretch to get away the danger. Intelligent football by Spurs with 5 minutes play. Aaron Lennon coming away so that the corner can be taken short by Bentley. He'll give him the return here now. Back to Lennon. Manchester United wrong-footed, and that's a fine attempted square ball to Keane. It just took a deflection, and the ball went away from the Spurs captain. Palacios, abrasive in midfield. Sometimes this season his passing qualities have let him down. Hutton gives Bentley a chase, but Brown steps across. Spurs were looking for their 2nd successive League Cup when they took on Manchester United at the start of March, but it wasn't to be. 0-0, the game went to penalties. And then O'Hara had his penalty saved by Ben Foster, who's not in the squad tonight. And Bentley put his wide. That's a strong challenge by Hutton. And now Keane, and Spurs have got a man over. Played in towards Defoe, and he tested Kusha. And that's not a bad save on a night like this. Slithery top surface, he made sure. Stonking challenge, wasn't it? The ball into feet, took the shot early. It was from behind the sliding Wes Brown. The goalkeeper may have been unsighted. Not a bad save at all, that. Good start by Spurs. There's Bale. Berbatov burrowed in underneath him. Many clubs have put this competition, the Carling Cup, the League Cup, on the back burner, focused on other more major prizes. Not Spurs. This is their 7th, 5th round or quarter-final as it is in the last 9 seasons. And they've started progressively here tonight, and that took Kushat to get it away. He had to be on his toes there. And Spurs look threatening. And they've lost just 2 of their last 15 ties in this competition. And this is Bale. Into Palacios. Defoe leaves it to Keane, and now Lennon to take on Gary Neville. Checks back. Palacios in support. Genus is square. And Hutton further across, top of your picture. Comes back to Bale. Neat little run this. Wes Brown will have to slide. It's a corner kick. Clever run, quick footwork, and then he got his body across Neville. Had Neville touched him, Bale would have gone down. Good challenge by Brown in the end. Spurs are on top early on. Bentley will take the corner. Basson has gone forward, and Dawson beyond the far post. Straight at Kushat though. And this is delayed. Eyebrows raised when Manchester United took him away from Stoke. He's waited patiently for his chance to late. That's not a good ball in by Genus. Jermaine Defoe wanted it played over the top. Wes Brown now for Manchester United. The header on by Welbeck, but Berbatov was way away on the far side of the pitch. There's Edwin van der Sar and Ben Foster there, the Manchester United keepers, not involved tonight. No injury problem for Foster, but young Amos has been given a chance to sit on the bench. Now Defoe just flicked out a hand there as the ball came forward and he caught Wes Brown. This is Anderson. Manchester United second in the Premier League, 31 points from 14 games. Spurs just behind them in the positioning in the league. But at this early stage, it looks as if it could well be a 2-horse race for the English Premier League title. Chelsea and Manchester United looking dominant. Palacios. Into the feet of Keane, the ball just slipped away from him. And then Bentley slid over. And this is Berbatov. I always think Dimitar Berbatov, so reminiscent of the legendary Spurs striker Alan Gilzean, in his movement, in his looks. Now this is Genus for Tottenham. Gilzean was a big hero of mine, by the by. What a good player he was. Blocked by Neville. Palacios, Tottenham dominating the early possession, but that's a poor delivery again by Palacios. And Overtown found Berbatov, and Welbeck's away to the left-hand side, and onside. Hutton just got back in time. A back-pedalling Spurs defence called for an offside decision. A dangerous ploy, that. And this is Lennon. Manchester United would have a 100% winning record at home in domestic football had it not been for the draw with Sunderland here. And they're a little bit fortunate, United, to get away with anything that day. Besiktas won here in the Champions League last week, of course. Anderson, too much length on that pass. United 3 times winners of the League Cup. 92 against Forest, 2006 against Wigan, and in the spring against Spurs. Here's Bale. And Palacios. Spurs winners of the League Cup in 71, 73, 99. And 2008, their last victory in extra time against Chelsea. His team, the first club to win this competition twice. Anderson caught dawdling by Palacios, and here's Bentley, and that's a neat piece of skill, and he's carried on the run to Keane. Back it comes to Genius, went to place the shot, and as he did, he just leant back, and the ball skied. Again, Bentley at the heart of Tottenham's build-up. But he was unimpressed with the finish. 3 victories in his 11 meetings against Sir Alex Ferguson. Bentley seemed to have the world at his feet. David Beckham's wide position in the England team was his for the taking, it would have appeared, when he first signed for Spurs from Blackburn, but it just hasn't happened for him. Header forward by Bale. Berbatov. Neville closed quickly by Lennon, but he got the pass away to Welbeck. Here's Overton. Oh, squeezed away off his toes. He missed the opening part of the season, injured. It was developed by Laurent Blanc at Bordeaux. Blanc, former Manchester United player. Some say he might be a future Manchester United manager. This is Hutton into Bentley. And back again for Hutton, and Park hasn't chased convincingly or tracked back there. This is Hutton to Keane. Took a little bit too long perhaps to get the shot off there, Robbie Keane. Manchester United will be alarmed that Alan Hutton was given too much room to progress down the right-hand side. That's sloppy from Genius back to Gareth Bale. And Tottenham have lost any advantage they initially gained. In the 15th minute, no goals. Has to be settled tonight, a place in the semi-finals at stake. Neville has to take the throw again. It came into play about 15 yards further forward than it should have done. Berbatov. Blocked by Genius, and now Palacios. Disguises the pass away to Lennon. He was caught by Neville. Well, Gary Neville knows that at 34 years of age he's going to struggle for pace against Lennon. Couldn't stop him by fair means, so chose the foul. Bale. It was a lackadaisical pass forward. Welbeck to Anderson. And here's Park Ji-sung. Anderson. Dawson's been dragged wide. Who's covering in the middle? This is a shot by Gibson. 1-0 Manchester United. Against the run of play, but after a quarter of an hour, the holders lead. His first goal of the season, and his 4th for Manchester United in his young career. Drove it in, but Spurs seemed to have a gap right at the heart of their defence. Dawson had been pulled out wide, and they didn't really recover their strength in the middle. Lost their shape. 1-0 Manchester United. Well, it's a shame for Spurs that, because they started so well. Palacios. Keane. Ooh, he was fouled by Brown, and it was a bit of a rudimentary swipe from behind. This is Lennon. The cross picks out Bentley, but it was just taken away by Delate. And Bentley was already drawing his right foot back to have a crack at goal. Now Manchester United are unhappy here the way the free kick was taken. He had a word with Brown and then almost seemed to let them play on. Bentley's corner, headed away by Berbatov. Former Tottenham player, mustn't be forgotten. He was a hero at White Hart Lane, scored every other game virtually, 46 and 102. And that's handball against Delate, and the referee gave it, not the assistant. The assistant was 5 yards away, but you can see there Mark Clattenburg clearly giving the free kick. And yet the assistant referee, Roger Bannister, 4 or 5 yards away, didn't flag. Bassong moves forward again. In these conditions, we could have a bucket full of goals. It's going to be Bentley with the free kick. Clouted away. High clearance by the goal scorer. And now Manchester United can break. Berbatov sees Overton on the far side. Oh, lovely weight on the pass. And Gomez had to come out. Genus out-battled. Manchester United are now winning it in there, at the very core of the game. Gary Neville. Here's Brown. And Vidic. Away to Gary Neville. And it was a little tickle of a cross. Well, Gomez seemed to keep it in play, but then did he slither away for a corner kick? A goal kick has been given. I wonder whether the ball was still in play when he got to it and then carried it out. So many times over the years, Spurs managers have come to Old Trafford and gone away with nothing. Berbatov. Cleared by Dawson. Now this is Robbie Keane. Genus. And Bale. He's got to the return, and that's a lovely ball in. Defoe, great block, terrific block, Delate. Good work again by Spurs down their left. It was an intelligent cross in by Bale. Big opportunity that for Defoe. Alan Hutton. Spurs behind, and yet they're creating so much. Easton Park. Doesn't look first team fit, Park. He came back against Besiktas after 2 months out with a knee injury. Gibson, his last goal for United came on the last day of last season at Hull. Anderson. Seen early by Bassong. Wasn't a good pass, but Anderson slithers in again. Lennon was fouled. Anderson caught him. He does buzz around in midfield. "23 visits for Tottenham to this ground have come and gone since Gary Lineker's winner 20 years ago. 5 draws, 18 defeats is the sorry tale of their trips to Manchester United. Vidic forward. Well, of late, Jermaine Defoe has been gobbling up this sort of opportunity. Bale again had room. That's a fine swinging cross. First touch brought the ball down. Genus. There's a balloon on the pitch, not a beach ball, a balloon. Hutton. And now Bentley. Here's Palacios. Dawson. Keane coming away from the defenders. It's a feature of his game. Little gap to Hutton. Bentley's further down the line. Oh, he was caught there by delay. He didn't need to make that sort of challenge. He was a little bit anxious too late, and it's something that Sir Alex Ferguson has talked about in tonight's match programme notes, the anxiety of his youngsters last week against Besiktas. It's a trait, perhaps, of younger professionals. Sir Alex Ferguson says it's not a drawback. And he bristled when one reporter wrote that there was no future apparent for last week's youngsters. They are very young. Jermaine Genus popping the balloon. No repeat of the Sunderland-Liverpool beach ball fiasco. Oh dear. Woeful. Just wonder whether Jermaine Defoe could have hit that full fat on the volley. Don't think so, the way it was coming to him. He took it down neatly enough, but Delate was in the way. Lennon. Here's Gibson. Into Berbatov, and Basson just got there in time. Defoe. And Palacios. And Dawson. The Spurs side has won just 2 trophies in the last 11 seasons, both in this competition. This is Bale. And Genus. Basson clears it away over the top, but it wasn't authoritative. Just rushed it a little bit, seemed uncomfortable on the ball. That's a daft pass into Gibson. I used to call that a hospital ball in Sunday morning park football. Genus there to Palacios. Bale. Well, it was kept in nimbly by Lennon. And Bale's pass was neat and tidy to Palacios. But Spurs are still in their own half. Alan Hutton burrowing forward. And still going. And still into the box. But he lost his footing. No question of it being a penalty. Spurs' last win against Manchester United anywhere was May 2001. Willem Corsten got a couple of goals at White Hart Lane, remember him? Les Ferdinand scored the other in a Spurs 3-1 win. But Manchester United fans will tell you they'd already taken the foot off the pedal. They had been crowned league champions by then. Now Bentley. He's got the wrong side of Delate. Vidic has gone across. Saw enough of the ball to get in confidently there, Vidic. Defended well. Hasn't been at his best over the last 8 or 9 months for Manchester United, just showing signs that he's getting there again. And Berbatov to Neville. 1 goal in it. Spurs matches this season have averaged nearly 4. Anderson. And Berbatov to Obertan. Gary Neville. Defoe is just behind Vidic, nothing on forward, so he pushes it back to Kuszczak. He's really fighting to make himself second choice at Old Trafford. Fighting with Foster, Van der Sar still the number one. Bentley. Misread the intention of Keane. And then Brown left it for Kuszczak, and there was momentary indecision at the back for Manchester United. That's a poor ball by Vidic. Bentley, Palacios. Tottenham have had so much possession, and they don't deserve to be behind. But passes like that won't help their cause, and this is Overton. Long and lean, and in full flight. Anderson can switch it to the left, Delate is over there, and further wide is Eason Park, and it was a fine intention. A little bit sluggish to react, perhaps, the South Korean international. Bentley full of running, but he just showed too much of it to Vidic, who stole it away. Rio Ferdinand still struggling with injury on the sidelines. He's missed 7 games with a back problem. Free kick for Spurs. Here's Palacios. The last team to beat Manchester United on this ground in this competition was Coventry City in 2007-2008. Manchester United don't look entirely comfortable tonight, but this is Gibson. Brown. The home side has the advantage, though, with the goal by Gibson. Next to Rio Ferdinand there, Owen Hargreaves. Time is running out for him to make a point to Fabio Capello and be included in that England squad for the summer in South Africa. Although I'm sure Capello would willingly have him in the squad as a cover right back and a midfield engine room man. Only made 18 starts for Manchester United, Hargreaves. He really has been plagued by injuries and recovering from surgery now to his knee. Bentley to Hutton. And on to Palacios. Bale. Genus with the run. This is Defoe. Keane is through the middle and in space, and this is a chance for Tottenham Hotspur. Cuts back across Vidic. Has the chance gone? Vidic can now get the challenge in by bringing it back onto his left foot. Robbie Keane gave the big defender time to get the tackle in, and it was gone. Here's Defoe, who picked out his capture with a fine ball through the middle. Bentley, Hutton. Defoe with his step over and dummy, and it hasn't come off for Spurs. Well, they've had chances. Fine pass. Came back. And that's why Vidic could make a fine side-saving challenge. And it was a good tackle. Gary Neville with the throw. Into Berbatov. If United hold on to this, they'll be just 2 matches in the semi-finals away from Sir Alex's 7th League Cup final as Manchester United manager. Anderson. This is delayed. It wasn't a good touch initially. Anderson's in the box. Gomez went and then seemed to hesitate. Didn't want to plunge in at feet, and on this surface was probably wise. Forced Anderson to make the decision, and Tottenham have a goal kick as a result. It came out with intent, checked. Not bad goalkeeping at all, that. United have now scored in 42 of 46 games against Spurs in all competitions. Berbatov drew it down and held off the challenge too, and takes the return from Anderson. Good play by the Bulgarian. Anderson looking to the right and Obertan. Neville on the overlap. He had to cut it back to Obertan. And Hutton's header drops now to Gibson. Anderson thought about the shot. Better idea was to find Berbatov into Welbeck. Park is behind him. Chance for Manchester United, their first really since the goal. Little chip in, and Park met it on the run, sort of stumbled onto the chance. Hasn't scored since he netted at Arsenal late last season. Genus. Now, offside against Lennon. United were stretched. Obertan was caught ball watching. Neville caught too far forward. He's onside as the ball's played. He's level with the defender. Assistant referee. Nigel Bannister's flag was raised though. But such is the speed of the players these days, it's so very difficult for them. Gary Neville's chip up to Berbatov. Bassong had to stretch. This is Genus. 11 minutes left in the first half. Bale chased by Welbeck. This is Aaron Lennon. Now to Genus, space for Hutton. Lots of space. Parker's cutting down on the angle. Spurs a little bit nervy and hesitant about getting the final ball in. Palacios. Hutton still awaits in the wide position. Palacios has made a little burst on the edge of the box. Played in through Jermaine Defoe though, and eventually to Palacios. Spurs worked the space well, but the final ball was atrocious. And so was that from Hutton. Has seen better days with Scotland than with Spurs of late, Hutton. Bentley with a little dinked cross in. That would have been dangerous had a Spurs forward been in the 6-yard area. And still Manchester United lead with the Gibson goal. A quarter of an hour had been played when he struck that low and true. And yet he's been the busier of the goalkeeper. Gary Neville. Obertan. Bassong Rose. There's Anderson, who's been busy so far. Berbatov angling it forward to Welbeck. But Dawson was there. Berbatov. Around this time last year, Manchester United were going off to Japan for the World Club Championship. People criticised that decision to go. Well, the fact they had to go wasn't their decision to make. They've won 48 games out of their 64 since going. So there should really have been very few complaints. This is Bale. And Robbie Keane misplaces his pass. The game has lost a little bit of rhythm. Vidic, who's had a strong performance. Park. Delate on the overlap. Cross had a little bit too much zip on it. got forward in support willingly. Turned 21 last week, the Belgian-born defender. An international these days. Made his debut last season on the last day at Hull. He started with Royal Antwerp, and Stoke paid £100,000 for him a couple of years ago now. This is Anderson into Park and Welbeck coming away from Dawson. Park supporting with the run, and now this is Berbatov. Patient football here by Manchester United. Gibson onto Welbeck and taking the return. Oh, what a lovely, lovely goal! His second of the game, and has that put the game beyond the reach of Spurs with 38 minutes gone. It was a peach. Really good, patient build-up, gathering momentum. The pass is accurate. It'll give and go, the 1-2 played, and how about that for a cool, bending, beautiful finish. Well, someone said last week they didn't see much future for some of the Manchester United kids. With goals like that, they have other things in mind. That was a fine goal from a good young player. And this is Genius. Well, if 1-0 was hard to take for Spurs, 2-0 would seem cruel. Park stronger in the challenge there than Hutton. And he takes the return. In went Dawson. This is Berbatov. Tottenham have lacked that sort of player in the first half. Keane and Defoe similar. Amongst the Spurs substitutes is Peter Crouch. Overton. And Anderson. Off Bale. Overton. Anderson's been at the heart of most things for Manchester United. Oh, and a lovely cross in, and Dawson had to get it away. It was into that corridor of uncertainty for goalkeepers, and Berbatov was lurking. Really lovely ball in. Swinging and dipping and inviting. He came to Spurs' rescue. Manchester United 2-0 up, have their first corner of the game with 5 minutes left in the first half. Anderson with it, headed down by Bale. Bale's foot again. Now this is Gibson. What a good first half it's been for him. Really looks at home in there. He's used the ball well, intelligently. He's taken his goals beautifully. There's something about the way he holds himself, Gibson, the way he runs, reminiscent of Roy Keane. See what you think. Vidic into Park. Anderson troubling Genius. Berbatov to Gibson again. Overton. Berbatov tried to flick it to Gary Neville. "85 games in charge of Manchester United in this competition. They've won 54 of them. And he's approaching 1,300 games now in all as Manchester United manager. Bale scoops it out of play. He tried a little bit too much finesse, Bale, initially when force was required, but now a foul throw against Gary Neville. And he had to stretch then, the Manchester United captain. Here's Palacios. 2-0 down. It would seem that Spurs are heading out, but if they carry on creating as they were early on, There is a route back into this game for them. Here's Bentley. I certainly wouldn't count Spurs out of it at this stage. Genus. Palacios. Look at Anderson. Charging around like a terrier in Manchester United's midfield. Bale. Beyond Obertan. And he's picked out Defoe. Lost his footing as he tried the turn. He's still there, Jermaine Defoe. And eventually Brown has to concede the corner. He nagged away, Jermaine Defoe. Again, Spurs try the short tap corner. Bentley. Men to his right-hand side. Palacios. Always likely to be an unlikely scorer. That's the one goal for Spurs. Came in August at Hull. Really took that goal so well. Opened up the face of his boot. Smart one too, and then bent it deliciously beyond the goalkeeper. Manchester United, when they've been required to show one, have had a cutting edge in front of goal. Spurs have lacked that today. Here's Hutton, who's twice broken his foot at Spurs. An injury punctuated a couple of years at the club. Genus to Lennon. Genus was ball watching, but Spurs have it back. Palacios. Lennon, I'm sorry. Here's Genus again. And that's Palacios. This is Bentley. Hutton's on the overlap. Ooh, little gap opening up here. Now, some Spurs first half up that, really. Momentary promise, no end result. Spurs came into the game unbeaten in 3 matches. But they haven't really kept enough clean sheets throughout the season. And we're into 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Spurs lost 5-2 against United here in April. That was the first time they'd managed to score more than once in a game in 24 visits to Old Trafford. Just shows you the mountain they have to climb now. And this is Berbatov. Gibson's had a fine first half. Into Berbatov, little header down, was cunning. And this is Welbeck. Picks out Obertan, Berbatov, far post. Oh, it was set up for him. Maybe a foot too far ahead of the Bulgarian, but it was good football again by Manchester United outside the Spurs box. Early pass in, yeah, it was about a foot too far in front of Berbatov, but Manchester United go in at half-time with a handsome 2-0 lead. Both goals scored by Gibson. A fine first half by the young Irishman. His first was a low drive, his second a beautiful bending effort, and Harry Redknapp's side has it all to do here as they trail at Old Trafford, as they have done so many times over the last 20 years. Tonight they trail it by 2-0. One significant change, it would seem, for Spurs at half-time as they trail this Carling Cup quarter-final against Manchester United, the holders, by 2-0. Tom Huddleston is coming on in midfield in place of Wilson Palacios. Huddleston has the authority in his gait, in his stride, in his passing to drive Spurs back into the game. Palacios more of a terrier, a hurrier, a scurrier, but his passing has been off and Spurs need something to unlock the Manchester United defence. The home side unchanged for this second 45-minute period, kicking from right to left as Spurs get us off and underway. Spurs trailing to the two fine goals by young Darren Gibson, the Manchester United midfield player. Manchester United, the holders, Spurs winners 2 seasons ago. Manchester United won handsomely at White Hart Lane earlier this season in the Premier League, and they hold this 2-goal cushion, but Tottenham aren't out of this game yet. Not with players like Defoe, who's had a half chance in the first half, nearly on the end of that. It was Gibson, the goal scorer, who cleared it away. Berbatov, play on, says the referee, Mark Clattenburg, and this is overtime for Manchester United. And to Berbatov. Park Ji-sung cuts a fine pass away to Welbeck on the outside of Hutton, who was labouring, but did enough in the end. That should have been a goal kick. Hutton slid in and did enough on the slide challenge to ricochet the ball back onto Welbeck's toe for me. Yeah, it should have been a goal kick, that. It's going to be Gibson, who scored the game's 2 goals, who takes the corner. He's got a good goal-scoring record at reserve team level for United. And away by Bale. It wasn't a good corner kick. Anderson, who scored in Manchester United's victory at White Hart Lane earlier this season. Oh, that's handball. Well, the ball wasn't out of play when Bentley stopped it with his arms. He's saying that the assistant referee had flagged. Well, I don't think the assistant referee had flagged by the time he caught it. Besides that, the referee hadn't blown. Catches the ball there, the flag is down, then goes up. Oh, Bentley's saying, the assistant referee saying the ball was out of play by the time he handled it. Anyway, nothing came of that situation. This is Bale for Tottenham. This is Aaron Lennon. On the outside of Neville, needs to do that more. Brown didn't get it away quick enough. Off Brown in the end, and then back onto Lennon, and that'll be a throw into Manchester United. And Spurs had an advantage there as Lennon tore past Gary Neville, and they didn't make any use of it. Overtime, Berbatov. Gary Neville, who was sent off at Barnsley in Manchester United's last game in this competition. Now Bentley. Where's he going there? Welbeck cleared. You can see Huddleston there to the left of your picture, on as a half-time substitute for Palacios. Here he is, Tom Huddleston in possession. He's given it away to Anderson. He finds Berbatov. Inside Basson. It looped up off the French defender. That'll be a corner kick. Huddleston on for Palacios for tactical reasons. There's no injury to Palacios. Gave it away. And it was deflected up off Basson. And though ball in Paris has opted to play his football for Cameroon now. And it will be a corner kick for Manchester United. And they are on top at the start of the second half. Overtime was in there. Ji-sung Park. Bale clears. Defoe has fouled his man. Delayed. It's a free kick to Manchester United, taken quickly by the Belgian international. This is Gibson. Passes the ball like Roy Keane. He carries himself like Roy Keane, mind you, to achieve half of what Roy Keane did in his career. He'll have to go some. He lacks a Roy Keane tackle, perhaps. Obertan giving chase, arms pumping. It's a goal kick. Peter Crouch tying his laces up. And certainly where Manchester United have had Berbatov as a front man to hit, an authoritative character, Spurs have lacked that. Defoe and Keane have made similar runs. Comes off too late. Showed too much of that to Huddleston. Now Bentley. And again, a feature of the game for Manchester United has been the fact that Anderson has covered so much ground. Quick to close, quick to get the ball out, quick to pressurise the ball. Hutton. Blocked by delay. This is Gibson. Overton. Anderson. Overton's run inside. Neville had space on the right. Berbatov's there with him. Anderson. Pressure on him there by Huddleston. Berbatov. And certainly Spurs are pressing the ball harder than they did in the first half. It was noticeable that Manchester United's 2 goals came when Spurs really weren't putting too much pressure on the ball on young Gibson. This is Defoe. Dawson to Jermaine Genius. Still Manchester United lead by 2-0, and still the rain comes down. Bentley has come into the game in fits and starts. A couple of efforts off target. Park back to Delate. Bentley with the quick challenge. Working hard there. He put his spot kick wide at Wembley at the start of March. 9 months ago, when Manchester United won in that spot kick drama and took this trophy. Dawson. Worried by Welbeck. Now this is Basson. Bentley, good ball out to him. Hutton on the overlap. This is good movement by Spurs. 2 in the middle. Hutton, it was a tame cross in. And in the end it bounces unluckily off him. But as he looked up to get the cross in after being fed by Bentley, he saw Defoe and Keane in the middle. Have a look at the runs the 2 Tottenham strikers make. Defoe came towards the near post. Keane belatedly saw him coming, tried to peel away to the far. But the cross was no more than a tentative prod. Bale's clearance. Ball out wide by Basson to Lennon, and he's flying. Oh, but he didn't see Anderson coming back in as he tried to check back. That's a loose clearance by Kuszczak, and Anderson turning away from Lennon can relieve the pressure. And Manchester United nearly got themselves in a pickle there. Big clearance by Gomez, met by Brown. Gibson for Manchester United. Overton. And ball against Berbatov, but play on. Spurs still trail by 2-0. They've only scored 2 goals once in the last 24 visits here. They've failed to score in 13 of those, and it's been a wretched hunting ground for them. But now, can Defoe light up the game? Bentley. Keane in the middle, Defoe in there as well. Threw it back onto his left foot, but didn't want to cross with that. Went wide again, and Delate could get the tackle in. Hutton. Huddleston. Bentley. Hutton dragged the cross, and Vidic could prod it out to Gibson. And then had to stab the second clearance. Dawson. He's had a good game, Vidic. This is Genius. Pace of the match has slowed, and that may suit Spurs. Keane, Bale. Coming inside Overton. Loves to get forward like this, Gareth Bale. Hesitated over the cross in, though. That's where I think Tottenham lack a Peter Crouch. A target in the box, but they have a corner. Dawson comes forward for Spurs. And this could change the whole complexion of the game. Bentley has gone short with all his corners so far and used Lennon. This will be more direct. Oh, it was so disappointing. Failed to beat the first man, and that so often happens in Premier League football. Brown with a clearance. This is Bale. Bentley. Lost his footing. Oh, it was because Gibson clipped him. And the referee waited to see if they could get any advantage. Manchester United trying to reach a 12th League Cup semi-final. Hutton. Back to Basson. 56 minutes gone. Time for Genius. Most of the football being played in the United half. We've started to drop a little bit deep. Lennon around the corner to Defoe, and he spun away for the return and got it. Keane making a good run in the middle. Away by Delay. Fine move by Spurs, that. This is Huddleston. Edged off it by Park. He's grown stronger as the game has gone on. Been out for a long while through injury this season. Now Anderson over the top to Welbeck, who knew he was offside. Didn't turn and go after the ball. He would have become active and the flag would have been raised. Robbie Keane. Bale on the overlap. No way wide. Overton is blocking the route. Into Lennon. Back to Keane. Genius, now it can go wide. Spurs trying to get the ball to Lennon and Bale so they can have a run at Gary Neville. And this is Bale, he's got such quick feet for a fullback. Here's Bentley, straight at Krishak. Another chance is coming on for Spurs. Lennon using Bale again. The route for Spurs is down their left. Krishak made himself big, but the shot was straight at him. Spurs should have been back in the game. Hutton. Manchester United have gone to sleep. That's a foul by Hutton. Played well at Portsmouth of the weekend. It was a good save by him. He was well positioned, but the shot was straight at the goalkeeper. Was he a bit complacent with the shot? Bentley went to place it rather than power it. It was a good Tottenham move. Dawson. Here's Park. Anderson. Wide to Overton. Will he have a run at Bale now? Oh, he took that neatly enough. Spun away for the return. He has to come short again to find the pass from Gary Neville. He hasn't got away from Bale. Huddleston. Spurs look a better side with him in central midfield. Better balance with him and Genius in there. More creativity, that's for sure. Huddleston made his England debut against Brazil recently. That's not a good pass. Spurs have only failed to score this season on 3 occasions, at home to Stoke, away at Chelsea and Arsenal, and we need to find the back of the net quickly here. Dawson. On by Defoe. Vidic has played very well for Manchester United. Brown to Neville. Risky when you've got a flyer like Lennon behind him. Neville with the header on to Gibson. Can turn into space. Eggleston was rather ambling across. The game at the moment lacks the intensity of a Premier League clash between the two, or perhaps an FA Cup clash. And this competition has become a peculiar one for the top clubs, but it is a route to Europe for the likes of Tottenham. I know they have top three pretensions this season, ambitions in the Champions League, and the qualifications, certainly the qualities to get a top three place. So perhaps they've taken their eye off the ball in this competition, and Gomez has to come out of the box as Basson hesitated under pressure from Welbeck. Huddleston looking for Hutton, and now Bentley. Hutton forward, looking for King. Taken away by Vidic, and that's a good turn by Gibson. What a fine match he's had. Overton. All arms and legs, isn't he, Overton? Spidery sort of a player. Pass had too much weight though, as the spider was drawn into Spurs' net. Sloppy there, the touch by Basson, and there was hesitation between the centre-half and his goalkeeper. Manchester United making a double change. Kiko Makeda coming on for Berbatov, a useful run out this Berbatov, coming back from his knee problems. His first appearance in 5, and Carrick for Overton, who's flattered a little bit to deceive on the right-hand side. Park will go out there and Carrick will go into a central position. Welbeck will go to Manchester United's left, perhaps. I'll change here now. Makeda through the middle. Welbeck will go to the left-hand side in support. Park on the right-hand side of support, and there'll be a tight midfield trio. Carrick there, Anderson in front of him, and Gibson. Makeda, the youngster who made such an impact last season. He scored the winner against Aston Villa on his debut to turn the title race Manchester United's way, and scored against Sunderland. And here he is, Federico Makeda. Referee pulling things back to give Manchester United a free kick. And Peter Crouch is about to come on for Tottenham Hotspur. Robbie Keane has glanced anxiously towards the bench. Harry Redknapp giving nothing away, but certainly Crouch and Defoe would be a more informed little enlarged partnership. Both have been scoring goals. Welbeck blocked by Dawson. This is Defoe holding off the challenge of Carrick, a former Tottenham man. Good pressure on the ball there by Makeda. Here's Robbie Keane for Spurs. May not have much longer to impress. He's won a free kick here though against Brown. Six minutes to go. Bale to Lennon, stabbed away by Park. Makeda, this is Anderson, quick return. Makeda's up after it. Welbeck in the middle for Manchester United. The chip by Makeda was a little bit premature. He didn't allow the runners time to get into the middle, and the chance was gone. But he's a big, young, raw talent, is Makeda. Huddleston left the ball behind him, wins it back. Gina, Spurs are anxious to get Crouch on. Keane. Bale. Keane in space. Lennon. They need something, and quickly, Tottenham Hotspur. Genius on the charge. Bale. Thought about the cross, now we'll have the run at Neville. He's caused him problems there. It's a lovely cross, the far post. Bentley coming in. Well, they've seen chances come and go. It's the fourth opportunity that's come Bentley's way. He's had Spurs' best opportunities. Perhaps they needed a big man like Crouch in there at that moment. And on comes Crouch now for Robbie Keane. Crouch took the armband off Robbie Keane and gave it to Michael Dawson at the back for Spurs. Now this is Brow. A taunt from the Manchester United fans to Robbie Keane. There's only one Keano, and they're referring to the Old Trafford legend Roy. Bale to Dawson, rushed the pass. Spurs didn't do that sensibly at all. The throw from Bale was far too long. It allowed Makeda to pressurise Dawson immediately. They didn't think there. This is Yeeson Park, bowled over by Genius. Gibson, Makeda. Gibson has Park wide, Makeda through the old inside right position. Federico Makeda, who was slipped by Huddleston, the ball very nearly carried to Welbeck. Now he can find Bentley. And headed away by Nemanja Vidic. Gibson into Anderson and takes the return. Park. Gary Neville. Well played. Carrick around the corner to Park. Makeda wants it played into feet, but Park runs into the gap. Anderson out wide now to Welbeck. Manchester United have a man over in the middle and Hutton got it away. Manchester United once came back from 3-0 down to win at Spurs 5-3 in a high scorer, but it's asking something of Tottenham to come back in this now. Anderson with the corner, picks up Park. And he got the shot away, and it was flicked on in the middle. It may have been Vidic who had the last touch. Did it carry all the way through, or did it deflect off the big centre half? Let's have a look again. Yeah, it did. It just lifted a foot up. Just touched it wide. Manchester United's first real effort, that, in the second half. Defoe trying to turn Vidic at the other end. Oh, and the free kick goes against the Spurs man. As they ran together, was he holding on? Yes, he was. He's found a man mountain in his way today in Vidic. Had that one first half chance, Defoe, and he seemed to hesitate a little bit. And goes to low. Hutton for Tottenham. To Bentley. Delate was right in front of him very quickly. Good skills by Bentley, was fouled. Very tight to the line, he drew Delate in, half expecting a foul would be committed. Bentley with it. Away by Gibson. Anderson. Crouch underneath that with Neville. Manchester United are growing more assured again. And Tottenham are running out of ideas and time. This is Anderson. Oh, what a lovely run that is. Well, he's been full of running all night. Crouch. Brown was tracking him. Crouch coming very deep there. I remember when Terry Venables and Steve McLaren were working together with England, and they were saying he has to stay further up the pitch. He's better up there as a target man than when he comes deep. But then it wasn't the most spectacular era for England, was it? Dawson looks for Crouch. Chance here for Spurs. Well covered by Vidic. Off Gary Neville. It was a wayward clearance. Little nudge there by Genius on Carrot. The referee acknowledged he was playing on. Playing the advantage. There's Les Ferdinand, centre of your picture. Tottenham could use some of his force through the middle. Now on the coaching staff. Tim Sherwood sitting there alongside him, also coaches at Spurs these days, former Tottenham player. Anderson. Carrick. Fine pass under pressure, Welbeck. Into Anderson. Off to Carrick. Good football, Manchester United. Well played, Welbeck. Here's Anderson. Brown to Neville. Into Anderson again. He's made himself available throughout the game. Tireless performance here by the young Brazilian. He's played well. Welbeck. Gibson. Welbeck again. And now Lennon. Driven past by Huddleston. Hutton. Bentley needs the early cross in. Turned back and Delate simply kept his position. Bentley off balance, went down. And Makeda used the ball intelligently. Easy pass was to Park in space, and now off to Anderson. Manchester United don't look in any trouble at the moment, but will they now? Parker's gone down, play on, Bale with a challenge. Crouch racing through the middle, Defoe wants it played in early. Bale hesitated. It's a corner. We're in the 74th minute. Can Tottenham make a game of it here? Crouch beyond the far post. It's swinging and it's headed away by Vidic. Kushak came, but he didn't look convincing through the thick of players there. Way away from it, the goalkeeper. What a strong game he's had for Manchester United tonight. Mark Clattenburg on the alert. Bentley's corner kick. Crouch was in there. Anderson for Manchester United. Kicks for touch. Here's Bale. He was too tight to the line to try that turn. On the phone in his more reserved role from up there, presumably laying on instructions and Not calling for a takeaway a little bit later on in the evening. But it's 2 games in the stands. Haven't brought bad results so far. The win at Portsmouth, they lead 2-0 here. And this is Welbeck. Gibson. Here's Neville. Park. Anderson. That movement building up at walking pace, really. Anderson running into a blind alley. Bentley, clever dummy. And Hutton is here, chased by Makeda. Around the corner by Huddleston, but Vidic saw it coming. He's been back to his imposing best today, Vidic. Gibson, Carrick. And Richie DeLate. Into Makeda. He's coming to the deeper position. Welbeck through the middle, and Makeda showing good strength there. Fine refereeing by Mark Clattenburg. He couldn't get away. So United had no advantage, therefore the whistle blew. DeLate. Vidic. Strong challenge by Bale. And now Brown to Carrick. Gary Neville. He's given Park a little bit too much to do. Manchester United right now are in a solid rhythm. Neville makes sure that. Dawson quickly in for Spurs. This is Vidic. And Spurs can't find possession at the moment. Bassong's header, now Hutton, Dawson. And then has come out wide to the right-hand side. Defoe, Lennon and Bentley have switched sides. This is Hutton. Lennon with the speed to get beyond DeLate. I wonder why they didn't try this before, Tottenham. He was blocked off by the Belgian fullback there. A little bit of trickery. I'm not too sure it deserved the caution. Well, the referee saying there'd been 1 or 2 beforehand. Persistent misconduct. Tottenham needs something here. Just over 11 minutes to go. Bale's free kick. Good header away, that. Brave header too. Wes Brown has gone down. He reacted first to the ball coming in and took a clunk from his own goalkeeper. May have piggybacked up on his own player, Nemanja Vidic there, just at the last moment. Ooh, and he got a right hook, was it, from his goalkeeper. He may need a little butterfly stitch in that to continue. Manchester United temporarily down to 10 men. Gary Neville is slotted in at centre-half alongside Vidic. Park will go to a makeshift right-back position. And what's the referee doing here? Well, he stopped things so there could be treatment. Peter Crouch gives it back to the goalkeeper. Well, I hope the referee was adding time on for that, because it was a needless stoppage, really. Kushak up towards Kiko Makeda. Dawson got the header away, and then Hutton stretching will get a yellow card for that. Always likely to be second best. Good touch by Welbeck off the thigh, and then he was caught. Welbeck for Manchester United. Under 10 minutes to go. Manchester United are back to 11 men. Wes Brown is back on. Carrick, always been a good passer of the ball, right from his early West Ham days. But the game has got sporadic and it's fragmented. Lacks any sort of real pattern at the moment. Defoe to Lennon. Nose to Lake can't afford another challenge, a reckless one. That's why he could run at him boldly. Hutton with the cross, poor. Carrick was able to stoop and get it away. Here's Park. Gibson outside it. Shows the safety first option. Reasonable at 2-0 up, and United have done that well. This is the South Korean again. And once again he checks back, looks for support. Did a good job for his club, nothing wrong with that. Gibson once more. And Huddleston blocked, with Makeda making the running behind him. Oh, that's terrible. What a shocking ball out of defence that was. Alan Hutton. Manchester United making another substitution. It's Zoran Tosic, the young Serbian, going to come on, and Anderson has run himself into the ground. Good performance here by the Brazilian. Tosic makes his 5th appearance from the bench in a Manchester United shirt, his 2nd this season. They call him Bambi around here because of his springy leg movements. Regular Serbian international these days. He's been in good scoring form for the reserves, Tosic. The ball nearly came out to him. Hutton's clearance again, wayward. Park in the middle. And Gomez had to sprawl. Lennon for Tottenham. Oh, crudely tripped. And that'll be a yellow card. Gibson took the card for his team, but it was cynical. Can Tottenham make him pay with a quality free kick? We haven't seen too many from them tonight, and that wasn't one either. So very disappointing. Well, they've had their bright moments, Spurs, and they have created good chances, but they're going out now with something of a whimper. Up goes Dawson. Genius won that. Here's Huddleston. And it was headed away by Vidic again. Crouch had gone to the ball, and therefore there was no pressure on Vidic. Now this will be better for Peter Crouch. But again Vidic won it. Quickly to it was Genius. Now Crouch comes out wide to Lennon. Spurs simply haven't got the ball out to him enough. Crouch, on his day, he's a world beater, Lennon. Can certainly destroy many a Premier League defence, but they need to get him the ball with better quality than that. Genius to Lennon. What options does he have? I'll try and spread it perhaps to the left-hand side. Oh, that's poor by Basson. Makeda for Manchester United to Carrick. Here's Park. And now Gibson, whose 2 first-half goals still separates. 2 first-half goals still separate the sides. Huddleston looking for Defoe. Vidic gets it away. That's tidy. Manchester United playing around Spurs, finding the gaps. Here's Gibson. United playing keep ball, maintaining possession. Bale's header away. by Bentley, but there is no challenge again by Spurs. They have a real chance of clinching a top 3, let alone a top 4 place this season, given Arsenal's injury problems, Liverpool's constant hiccuping, Manchester City's vagaries. This is delayed. Spurs are looking as if they're heading out of the Carling Cup right now. Perhaps Genius has other ideas. Bentley. Carrot quickly to close. Huddleston. And now Dawson. Lennon. Dawson once more, angling the cross to Crouch. Good header. It's their first effort in a while. Diagonal cross. Rose highest, but couldn't get the header on target. How wide was it? Oh, well wide. Glanced off Dawson. Well, the Tottenham fans must have groaned when they heard the draw. Such is the gloom of a fixture for their club against Manchester United. It's been a long trek up to Old Trafford on a wintry night. They've had nothing to show for it. It could get worse here. Welbeck. Fine ball out to him by Park. Neville wants it, gets it. Welbeck again. Gibson will drop back into space just behind Welbeck. Now he has possession, Gibson. And Carrick. Parker's gone wide. Welbeck down the line. United slow the rhythm down, take up valuable seconds and maintain possession. Eminently sensible, if not spectacular. Makeda. Crouch to Hutton, and here's Lennon. You can run from deep with genuine pace. There's nothing on for him. Now Defoe. Back to Lennon. Didn't look convincing at all, did it? Tosic. And now Kiko Makeda. Defoe trying to win it back. Park is there. Tosic in towards Welbeck. Black stays down. He's gone beyond Dawson, who got back at him. He was looking up to see if there was any support arriving. But the 7th Cavalry got there a little bit too late, and the clearance gives Manchester United a corner, and we're into the last 2 minutes, and their 2-0 lead looks a very good one. Delaney goes for the short corner, but Tosic will hit long, and Vidic is coming forward for Manchester United. And no one is tight on him at the moment. Dawson gets the header away under pressure from the big United centre-half in the end. Really strong performance by Vidic tonight. Tosic. Bentley, Crouch. Bentley will continue his run. Couldn't get away from Delates and loses possession. Poor pass in, and Basson can now find Bale. Huddleston. Here's Bentley. Huddleston's pass, fine ball. Aaron Lennon, that's dangerous. Headed down by Vidic because he knew Gibson was there. And we're in the last 30 seconds. And Makeda for Manchester United. Chased by Genius. Hutton stretched, but United are first to the loose ball. Carrick opens things up to Welbeck. Sensibly done. Oops. And Gary Neville. Welbeck again. No time for any frilliness now as we enter the 3 minutes of stoppage time. If United don't do anything silly, they'll be through to the semi-finals of the League Cup competition again. "11 times they've won quarter-final matches in this competition. Bentley. Delate saw it coming, it hung a long time in the air. Tosic for Manchester United, who have more energy in the closing stages. Carrick. But it's damage limitation for Spurs. There's no way back in the game for them now. This is Park. Beyond Dawson, in towards Welbeck. Gibson wants it, he's on a hat-trick. Makeda. Here's Park. Looking for Welbeck, he's onside, but couldn't get the touchdown. Never wants it played in the box. Makeda in space. And ripples the side netting. And that would have completed a very good Manchester United victory. Spurs have had their moments, but it's Manchester United with the cutting edge who are heading into the semi-finals of this competition again. Crouch. Now Vidic to Gary Neville. Where's Brown? Gives it away. Bentley to Crouch. Brown atones. Oh, very nearly anyway. Here's Crouch. Bale. We're into the last minute of stoppage time. Basson. Caught in two minds, but eventually brings in Dawson and now Huddleston. Initially at the start of the second half he seemed to have made a difference. But again, there was no conviction about Spurs. A dispirited Tottenham who are heading to defeat. And Sir Alex Ferguson will be 2 games away from taking Manchester United to a 7th final in this competition. Huddleston. Lennon. Consolation now surely only for Spurs if they can get one. Lennon left foot cross, Crouch far post, and even then as he hung in the air he couldn't get the header on target. And it has been such a disappointing night for Harry Redknapp and Spurs. They have created good opportunities from time to time, but they failed to take them. They had a lot of first half possession, but the 2 quality strikes have come from Manchester United and 22-year-old Darren Gibson. Some people might doubt that Manchester United's kids have a big future. He seems to have a very bright one indeed. 2 terrific goals from Darren Gibson. And Manchester United, the holders, are into the Carling Cup semi-finals. Once again, Spurs have been beaten by their old nemesis. And it's United who are through into the last 4. Just watch for that young man. There are more goals to come from him, I would think, like that. Harry Redknapp Spurs out of the cup, beaten by the team that beat them at Wembley in March. Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0.